Now, several staff and squatters of the Pantang Hospital in Accra are living in dilapidated buildings, which were declared unsafe after a structural integrity test declared them unfit for occupation. According to the hospital administration, they've had to stay, or this has come to stay and not been sanctioned by the hospital authorities or government. There's more in this report by Citi News' Eno Safo, who has more now. Eno, please share more with us.
The Pantang Hospital is one of 3 psychiatric hospitals in the country. Now, the structure behind me was constructed to house staff of Pantang. And as you can see, it was uncompleted. However, staff as well as squatters have moved into the structure. And upon a structural integrity test by the Ministry of Health, it has proven that this structure, among several others, is unsafe for people to live in. We're going to go inside, assess the situation, and speak to some of the people who live here to ascertain why they choose to live in the structure. So initially, when you come inside, you can see that the stairs have still not been completed. I'm climbing up. You can also see iron rods sticking out, and the iron rods are also rusted. And some of the stairway has been built with wood, and it's broken in some places. Some of the steps are not there. It's also crooked to one side, and yet people still climb up this stairs. They still use it. There are also wires. They haven't been properly put together, and yet people still live here comfortably, going about their daily lives unconcerned. Just as I said, there has been an eviction notice on the wall, and I'm going to read that out. It says, final eviction notice to the non-workers at Okonko block, which is this particular block that we are in. And it's been signed by Frank Banin, the hospital director. He says, we write to serve you the final eviction notice to vacate the hospital's uncompleted building block, Okonko. The committee has decided to give you the final opportunity to move out from the rooms you occupy on humanitarian grounds within 2 weeks after the receipt of this letter. You have been identified as a non-worker of the Pantang Hospital by living in the hospital's uncompleted building block. This is to pave way for staff of this hospital who travel long distance to and from the workplace to be accommodated on the hospital compound. We shall be compelled to eject you forcefully if you fail to do so after the expiration of this final deadline. And it was dated February 18, 2023. Now, let's speak to some of the residents to ascertain why they choose to live here. What's not him facing?
Oh, Mimi Banu. Almost 2 years ekoni.
Obina ekase betena ha na wana do pe betena ha.
The baby ami wo first no na mi o Pantang bad no so that side, but omo twa first no na be kami na mo si so flat mi staff ni de me mbra mo pedan ma mi o ha na mi de ba ha
na inti edan ya omo de ama wi etil same
na no hu nye di ni de me fi se dan no ehu ye din ba I say, Chanty, oh, Janelle, be a chill, I say, as soon ye, and who ye, nefe, Nesu, Eddie, the Eddie. Aha. Now,
me buy him who's on the eviction notice about say, moon free moon.
The anti my manaban son say, or more, or moon, yes, staff no, or more dosun, chay I age my phone until be a hoa. Well, ye transferring manaba but or not die or bet him.
If you're saying now what's not a dime
2 years.
Then a doba.
I'm Papa Najumo, a bit now.
Papa Pantang as ding.
Oh, yeah, about environment.
Na into structure now, Mutim no one can say it till saying.
It's just said, done a baby. Agree, sir.
Telling Tina Mutim.
I say any baby ever continue. Your manager Hakakra.
I've been here for 5 years. And
how do you feel living in the building? How do you feel? Is it safe?
It's not safe, but we are managing.
When you say you're managing, what do you mean?
People have been here several times that we should move out back. Assorting, like we don't listen. So we are prepared we are preparing ourselves to move out from here. Sometimes, like when it rains, that it leaks. You inside your room, then water. We are outside, Yeah, at my mother-in-law's room. They do the F4. Who say so free move back? It's minimum about other people in so offer steps sometimes it's me about years ago, I think 2 years ago.
We will find out from the hospital administration exactly when they intend to evict these squatters.
I can tell you for a fact that none of them will be able to show you a letter to say that go and live in such a structure. At least not that I am aware of. Okay. And I have been at the helm of affairs since 2016. We have not. How can you give somebody a letter to go and live it? You've seen it. I mean, no, nobody's going to do that. I'm the one pushing for it to be demolished because I'm afraid that if we are not careful, one of these days it will collapse on staff. And that's been one of my fears. Okay. We fall within the fault lines, Pantang Hospital. Usually anytime there is one of those tremors, we feel it here. So you can just imagine if the scale goes up a little, what will happen to that building? Okay, so those are the sort of fears. And we won't ask staff to live in places like that. Some staff come from town. Why wouldn't they ask them to come and live here? Okay. It's just a matter of people want to always create problems. They'll find themselves in places because it's cheaper, but they're not paying rent. Okay. If hospital gives it to you, that means you should be paying rent, but they don't.
Management says they were unable to evict the squatters because they petitioned the Ministry of Health.
They petitioned my bosses, that's the Mental Health Authority, and then the ministry. So as far as I'm concerned, now it's been taken up by a higher institution than Pantang Hospital and being dealt with. So I would say the best people to talk to on this matter will be the ministry. Okay. But they went to petition them. The minister delegated the Deputy Minister of Health to come here to resolve it. They all saw it and decided, no, it must come down. The Municipal Assembly put together a team made up of engineers and security people to come and take a look at it. The conclusion is that it should come down.
Efforts to get the Ministry of Health and the Medina Municipal Assembly to respond proved futile. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Eno Safo.